The Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. And I'm so excited to have with me today Melissa Taylor. How are you, Melissa?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great and so glad to have you on today's episode. Listen, as we start out, though, I do want to take a moment, and I want to take a moment of silence just to recognize and give homage and pay our respects to those in two different capacities, those soldiers that have lost their lives in the Afghanistan situation that's happening, and we're all being kept abreast by President Biden regarding that, and also for people that are in the Louisiana area, and making sure with Hurricane Ida, people are still being rescued. People are on rooftops, they're in the waters and asking for assistance, those that decided to ride out the storm. So I just think that as we're starting today's episode, let's just take a quick moment and take about 30 seconds and just pray. Pray to whomever you pray to, that God will bless these individuals to not have to have more lives tragically lost due to Hurricane Ida, okay? Right, everyone, and we are back. And we are back with Melissa Taylor today, and she is the founder of Network Build and Grow. And we're going to be talking to her about a lot of her journey right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And she's had a pretty interesting one. So as we kick off today's show, I want to make sure that you know about Melissa and the fact that she has successfully built several businesses, including Network Build and Grow here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I cannot believe this precious gem has been right here in Charlotte, and I didn't know her. I've just known of her through acquaintances. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm Melissa Taylor right here in Charlotte. We celebrate celebrities from around the world. When we have our own celebrities, we need to celebrate them as well. So I'm so excited that Melissa is right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. She's honored as one of the top 50 most influential women right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area for 2021. And she's also a speaker, coach, and she helps thought leaders monetize their expertise. So welcome, Melissa Taylor.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm like you. Your name has come across my radar so many times, and we just have never connected. So this is really, really exciting for me too.
I don't know who's going to be more excited. Are your cheeks going to hurt or my cheeks going to hurt? I'm going to be smiling. It's like that. No, you. And I got to figure out which way to look. I'm going to look over there and be like,
go there.
No, you. Okay. So listen, we're going to have a great time today. But as we talk, Melissa, I want us to just go back and tell everybody kind of about how you maybe grew up and, in a fast-paced role, because I want to get to something that happened in your life that you found out about that was life-changing for you. So tell us as far back as your journey that you'd like to go, and then take us to where you found out some life-changing information.
Yeah, well, I think that, I was born actually in Kansas. And an interesting thing about when I was born, moved to Colorado quickly after that and grew up there. But when I was born, I was actually induced because my birth date was supposed to be Christmas.
Oh,
And yeah, and my dad was going to be shipped off to the Vietnam War January 1st. So they
Oh.
actually induced labor on December 18th so that my dad could spend 2 weeks with me. Um, yeah, and then he left. And so my dad was actually gone the whole first year of my entire life. Like, I mean, not that I remember that,
Right,
but
right.
he was gone. And my mom kept notes in a journal of like what I was doing, what my older sister was doing, like that entire year. I have this journal. She did it every day to begin, and then it started to not be every day, but it's a really neat treasure that I have from my past. And unfortunately, later on, my parents actually got divorced. I have an amazing stepdad that has been a great father and mentor to me. All of my parents are entrepreneurs, so I grew up in that just, you can do it kind of a family.
Right.
Right. And so I did grow up in Colorado and lived there all the way through college. Went to Colorado State University, and not a lot of like tragedy in my life. I mean, or really anything major in those formative years, other than, of course, the divorce of my family. But
Right.
I gained two wonderful stepsisters out of it as well. So,
That's interesting. And the way that you're even talking about it as it's not so much a tragedy from being from a divorced family. What advice do you even share with other people that are young that are experiencing that they may be watching this show with their parents and they're experiencing it now, and you can give them some good lighthearted advice about it. What made you have such a positive outlook about the divorce?
yeah, I mean, it had its struggles. I'm not going to lie. There was some difficult times. I bounced back and forth to mom's house, dad's house a few times. But in general, as you get older, yeah, it's awful when you're going through it. It feels kind of
Right.
icky, but know that on the other side of it, you have just that many more people supporting you, that many more people that love you, that many more people that you can lean on. And so it's really quite, I mean, I'm not an advocate of divorce by any
Right, of course. Right.
means, but if
No,
it does
I'm not
happen in
either.
your family, yeah, if it does happen in your family, it can be a turning point for a lot of people to actually build a really great life out of it.
That's beautiful. I mean, you could actually be an advocate for that, because for you to say it from that perspective, I promise I have never heard it shared like that.
Oh, well,
That
there you go.
so there you have it. Who
There you have
knows?
it.
Melissa's coming on to talk about network build, grow, and some other things that's happened in her life, and now she didn't even have a clue that she was going to become the divorce expert
There
from
you
a
go.
childhood perspective. So you never know what talents you actually possess. But that's really good. So you inherited a beautiful situation from your
Mhm,
stepsisters, your stepdad, and everyone embraced you, including your existing parents as well.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
beautiful, beautiful. So listen, everyone, we're talking with Melissa Taylor today. And as she grew up, she said not a lot of eventful things that happened that has to go into some deep, deep, deep story. But one of the things was obviously she experienced divorce in her family unit, but was blessed with even more family members. So that is a beautiful way to look at it. Now, I know, Melissa, there are some things that happened that were life changing for you personally, and
mhm.
so I do want us to talk about those right after this commercial break, and then we can learn more about what changed your life. Okay.
Right.
All right. So listen, today's episode is sponsored by Snow Legal, the Snow Legal Group right in the Charlotte and also in the South Carolina area. Attorney Kenneth D. Snow, let me make sure I pull this up so you can go ahead and have his information. But Attorney Kenneth D. Snow says that he really didn't know when he wanted to become an attorney, but he knew that he wanted to be a voice for those that were voiceless. And as a result of that, him and his team recently had a murder conviction for a person that did not speak English at all overturned, where this man was spending 5 years away from his family, and he was wrongfully accused of murder. And attorney Kenneth D. Snow and his group was able to get that reversed, and now the man is back with his family. So go to snowlegal.com to learn more about them, and their phone number is 704-358-0026, or you can email them info@snowlegal.com and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way, and you'll get a free consultation. So let's learn more right now about Snow Legal.
I'm attorney Kip D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or ride share, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we're talking with Melissa Taylor today from Network Build and Grow. And Melissa, I would like for you to tell everybody when something happened in your life
Okay.
that was very unexpected.
Okay. Well, I was turning 30 or maybe 31. Now I can't. Oh my gosh, it's been so long ago.
You
I
cannot say
actually,
it's been so long ago. You look great if it's been so long ago. That's like a really bizarre statement for somebody that looks like you. I don't know how long ago that was, but
about 20 some years. I mean, I am 52 now, so a long
get
time ago.
here.
Yeah, 52.
I'm
Almost
51. Most
53.
people don't talk about their age, right? I don't know why. Maybe
I don't
as
know
I
why.
get older, I may not want to. I don't know. But right now, I am so excited. I'm like, I am 51.
Hey, girl, 50 is the new 30. Come on now, it's good.
I love being 51. I'm so honored. I'm so excited that God would even allow me this opportunity. Okay, carry on.
Yes. So anyway, so I was 30 years old and really was doing a lot in my life. I already had my first company going. I was a world champion dancer, star award-winning choreographer and coach for ballroom, Latin, country, swing type dancing.
Okay.
And I started to have a lot of issues with actually both of my legs. They would go to sleep. I was having pain, that kind of thing. So long story short, I did go to the doctor finally. I resisted for a long time, just
Mhm.
thinking, oh, this will go away. No big deal. I'm a dancer. I got a pinched nerve in my back. No big deal. Finally went to the doctor, and actually, through a series of tests, I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis,
Okay.
which for a dancer, I mean, like, I thought my world was gonna end,
Right.
you know? So I did what everybody does, and I went on Google and started looking it up and went and just don't do that anytime you ever get a diagnosis. Don't go to Google, because it's like it was terrible. And so, anyway,
But Google is giving you the facts too. So I mean,
I
Google,
know, but it's just
they're
I
just
didn't
giving
have
you the
those
facts. I'm
facts.
not at all. Please make sure for Google, we love Google because
We
we all
do,
use Google. But if
but
you're just getting diagnosed with something, some people may like
not so
want to.
good. Like, it's a little too much information. Information overload is what you
Right.
end up with. So I ended up with information overload, and a lot of it was negative. And so I just thought, okay, this is not what I need to be looking at. And so it did change my life a lot. Well, very fortunately, I have a very well, it's called relapsing remitting MS. So it's not progressing. It
Okay.
doesn't progress at a rapid rate. So thank the Lord for that. Lots of prayers over that is still needed, but it has stayed in that kind of not remission, but kind of that lower category for years and years and years. And to your point, I think one of the reasons why it doesn't bother me is to share my age is I wasn't even sure I'd make it to this age or that I would still be walking or that I would not be in a wheelchair or, I mean, I envisioned my life taking that turn by now and it hasn't. So, yeah. And so, that was a big life changing thing though. I mean, it really makes you think when you get a diagnosis like that.
That's interesting that you say that because when you get that diagnosis, first of all, for those that may not know what multiple sclerosis is, we'll put it in the comment section as well, but it's a potentially disabling disease of the brain and spinal cord. And where did I get that from? Google. You know
Google.
why? Because Mayo Clinic put their information on Google. The Kim Jacobs show, we put our information on Google. So Google is our friend when it comes to being able to find some key information that
Yes.
can be quick and at your fingertips versus having to wait until somebody calls you or texts you or responds back to a doctor's appointment. So most of the doctors are putting their information right there on Google. So signs and symptoms depend on the level of nerve damage and which nerves are affected. So that's information that we'll put right on in the comment section for you all. But how you said with yours, it wasn't as progressive. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So there's several different levels. And, back to the Google thing, check your sources. And obviously, the Mayo Clinic is very, very good. And I think that's where you
That's what I
were
got.
quoting that from, was Mayo Clinic. And so you'll see on there probably they talk about progressive, secondary progressive, relapsing, remitting. And so when you see people out and about and they say, I have MS, and they're maybe in a wheelchair or they have
Right.
difficulties, have a lot of disabilities, most likely they're in the progressive or secondary progressive. Whereas relapsing remitting is kind of like an invisible wheelchair that we live in. Because to all people that see us, we seem completely fine.
Right.
But we may suffer from extreme fatigue or like hot flashes constantly. Thankfully, I don't get that one.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
loss of cognitive things, like we can't remember things as easily, or, I make a lot of lists just in case. And if I do forget something, I just blame it on MS. I'm like, oh, that darn MS. Um,
That's a shame you using your disease in that capacity. That's a shame.
that's a shame.
Shame,
But,
Melissa.
but it can be kind of an invisible wheelchair, so to speak. In
Okay.
some cases. And so
Interesting.
that's usually people that have the relapse and remitting, like myself.
Well, that's interesting. Even again, the lighthearted approach that you're taking with finding out that you have a debilitating, life altering disease where most people would be like broken and torn and given into it. You've taken the same approach that you took back in your childhood, which is, I have more people to love on me. I can definitely use it to my advantage and say, oh, darn that. I mean, you're making it such a lighthearted experience. Why do you take that approach in life? Because it seems like it's actually a common
It is
pattern
very
around here.
common. It is very common. I don't believe that God would give us anything that we can't handle.
That's the bottom line. I knew you. Why, girl, you could be like my sister. I knew you were going to say that. You know what? You know how you have like a kindred connection with people? That's how I feel with Cassandra and Sean and different family and my mom. And I'm like, some people, you feel like you're there. And I knew you were going to say that. God has equipped us to handle the things that we can handle that He puts on us. Now, I know you didn't say that. That's my own wording. That He won't put more on us than we can bear. We
Mm-mm.
know that. That's biblical.
That's right. That's
I am
biblical. Yeah.
so excited that you said that. So
And then
that's
it's
your
how you,
approach.
yeah. And then it's how you take that and use it for good. How you talk to other people that are in the same boat or a similar
Yeah.
boat, or how you really use it as a motivational factor to get you to do, like, I don't wait. Like, if I want to do something or I want to go somewhere, like, I don't know that I have next year, so I'm doing it. So it's just the way that you look at that.
Interesting. Isn't that something that we should all look at it from that perspective? If we don't realize now more than ever that with COVID
Mm,
and COVID is claiming so many lives,
so many.
the pandemic has claimed too many lives, right?
Hmm.
So we know that today is today, right now.
That's it.
Tomorrow is not promised. And it may not be that COVID is the reason. It can be because I had a friend just recently, last week, that passed away. She was out doing a job, doing a regular job in the midnight hour, delivering some things and doing her and her fiance doing DoorDash. And someone
Mm.
ran the light and crashed into my friend. And we were communicating at 1 o'clock that morning. And she wasn't driving, but we were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about, guess what? Her dreams and her goals and the
Oh,
things that she knew she wanted to accomplish. And so I was just giving her some to-dos. And actually the next morning, Melissa, I woke up and I was like, now, this is what I said to myself. I said, now, Chantel, she done kept me up at 1 o'clock in the morning asking me, let's get these goals and dreams together. Let's see what you made of. So the first thing I did after I said, God, what's your plan for me for today? Is I checked my email. I was like, come on, Chantel, you done kept me all night. Let's see what you made of. Let's see what you got these goals and dreams. And I was like, going in about that. That email response to all of the to-dos that I gave her never came to pass. That didn't happen because that day I found out that she transitioned home. We don't know. None of us
mm-mm.
know
None of us
what
know.
tomorrow holds.
No, yeah. I have a friend who's a veteran, passed away last week. I was actually headed to an event that he was hosting, and he didn't show up for his own event. And we found out the next day that he had passed away, here in Charlotte. Last night, I just found out that my cousin's son passed away at 22 years old. I mean, we don't know. And so I think that the way I look at life, I'm a philosopher at heart. It's theological philosopher, and also just, just I love philosophy in general. And kind of a central theme to all of them is today is the only day that we know and that we can understand.
That's right.
And if we are always constantly having our eyes in the past, we can't live today to its fullest. And if we constantly have our eyes always to the future, we're going to miss out on the things that are happening today. So we need to stay present in the moment, but
Right.
also not stifle ourselves also. So
That's
it's
right.
kind of this fine line between I want to stay present, but I also want to make sure that, you know,
That's right.
things can go forward and that we have that opportunity, and there's so many opportunities.
There
That's the
are.
other thing, I hear people talk about disappointments or their parents got divorced and it's ruined their life, or I got divorced and it ruins your life, or whatever, or lost a job, or all these different things. And I'm like, okay, but that's what happened in this moment. And that's one moment in your many, many
Yeah.
moments of your life. And let's
Many.
not concentrate on that moment, and let's move and find those next moments that are going to be
I
great.
love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, Sean Hall is my best friend, and she's saying today is all we have. And Sean talking about today, yesterday, meaning Friday, I had a situation where I was running around, was doing some things as mom and trying to balance my life. And my friend Sean showed up for me in my midnight hour and hosted the show on Friday. So I was so eternally grateful that she came on, and she did a phenomenal job. So thank you, Sean, for showing up. And yes, today is all we have. Let's see, anybody else came on? Oh, Dr. Lotus Roche. If you have not been to Dr. Lotus Roche's page to follow her and watch the Lotus Roche Ignites show, Melissa, you would love. She brings on global leaders. So
Wonderful.
Dr. Roche and Dr. Melissa Taylor, y'all connect, because I'm telling you, you're going to love having her on your show too. Hi, Melissa Taylor. We are happy to see you on the show. Thanks for being on in her amazing show. I'm sure she'll be on your amazing show too, Dr. Lotus Roche. Let's give Kim some analytic love. You're so funny, analytic love. And hit that thumbs up and hearts. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Kenneth D. Snow, info at Snow. Yes. Okay. Kim is you're so okay. You going, oh, you're a trip. And I know you're telling everybody note takers are money makers. So if y'all don't have your notebooks, that's Dr. Lotus Roche's quote. Get your notebook, because note takers are money makers. That's what she says all the time on her show.
I love that. That is so true.
Oh, hey, you say you love my hair. Corinne Brown is our fresh expert, everybody. I have experts here on the Kim
Hi,
J.
Corinne.
Show. Isn't she awesome?
Yes.
I love Corinne. Corinne, you have to come back too. Actually, I'll talk to you about a date that I have open. So I need you to come back. All right, because she always shares some great tips. But Kim, thank you so much. Let's see. Divorce stinks, but yes, yes to turning points. Okay.
Right.
Good morning, love you. I love you too, Paula Lessa. I have your book over here as well, and love you, Melissa. Love you, Melissa. Yeah, Paula Lesso, you definitely want to get her book as well. Hello, Kim.
It's a great
topic.
book.
Thank you. This will help millions of people. Yet only if you get it out globally, Dr. Lotus Roche, talking about millions. It's only if you can get it out to the millions that they'll know about it. All right. Let's see. Yes, stay in the moment. Today is all we have. Yes. All right. And I see you tagging your mom, Sean. So listen, everybody, we're talking with Melissa Taylor, and we're talking about, she's just quickly talked about multiple sclerosis, like it's there, it's happened, it's not going to change my life to the point where it stops my life. So how are you balancing being a mom and living with this debilitating disorder that you've kicked in the head, basically?
Yeah, I kick it to the curb. So I there's a lot of things that I could be doing differently. I could probably change the way I eat, or I could do all these things. But I also a long time ago decided that I have this one life. I understand I have a debilitating disease. I'm going to live it to its fullest. I'm going to
You couldn't even
enjoy
say it.
life.
Let's stop for a second, Melissa. You literally, I'm sorry, you really just was like, no, you didn't stumble the entire show, right? So you are poised and professional business owner and all of the network, build, grow, all of that. But when you attempted to say the word debilitating, was the only time you stumbled.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm not going to say that. So
I'm not going to say it.
blah, blah, blah,
Blah,
blah,
blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah.
No, no, no.
So you're like,
No, no, no.
I will stumble if I have to say
Yeah.
the bill.
Yeah, because it's
It's
not
not
to
the
me.
case in my life. I
Yeah,
love it. So
it's
stumble
not
at
to
that
me.
moment all the time. Go ahead.
So I think it's mind over matter. I think that there are a lot of things that we can do to help ourselves. I do my therapy. I go to my neurologist. I'm not an idiot. Like I do all of that stuff. I do what I'm
Right.
supposed to do to try to keep it at bay. But I also just believe that your mind is such a powerful, powerful thing in your body and your faith. And so my stepdad actually has survived stage 4 cancer, I think 3 times now. And I'll tell you what, he has got the most positive outlook on life of anybody that I know. And he has definitely got some debilitating things that are still happening in his life, you know. But I look at him and I'm like, if he can live the way he has to live, and people don't know it when they see him that he has all these struggles, then I can too, because what I have is not anything near what he has to deal with or what other people have to deal with. The people I
Wow.
do see in wheelchairs or the people I do see at the multiple sclerosis dinners and galas and what they're dealing with the same thing I have. This is nothing for me. Like this, I have to just keep that in my mind
Hmm.
that I can do this, I can go on. Sure, there are days when I have to just take it a little bit easier, do a little self-care.
Of
My
course.
friend Rita Garnto, who she'll
Yes.
get on me about that. But I think most of the time, if I can stay busy, I don't think about it on a daily basis.
Right. Right.
I
Well,
think
this
that's the
is
important
good.
thing.
That's really good. So it's not your primary focus. It's just a part of
Mm-mm.
what's happened in your life,
Right.
and you just keep it moving. You
Yeah,
keep it
you
going.
have to. You
Yeah.
have to. I mean, there's no other way to look at it, right? It's a part of who you are. It's a part of what made me who I am. It's a part of what drives me. And it's a part of what motivates me.
I
Or
love
it could be the part that knocks me down on my back and I wouldn't do anything, which that's not living.
No, who wants to do
Yeah.
that when you still have breath in your body and you're here for a purpose and you're here to make a difference in some capacity? But if you're just down and out the whole time, you can't continue to salt the earth at the level that's expected of you. So I
Yes.
agree 100%. Listen, today's episode is also sponsored by Silver Shield Security. And I have Silver Shield Security and I love the system. They have state of the art equipment. They have like night vision cameras, you name it. They got some good stuff, right? And so when you reach out to them, let them know that Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Their phone number is 704-440-4688. And you can also visit them at silvershield-security.com. And Melissa, when we come back, we're going to talk about networking, building, and growing. And I really want to thank you for taking a moment to just enlighten us about the it's not even worth fully saying the whole statement. That's the point. I love it. So if we're going to say a word that describes what Melissa has, it is not debilitating in any way, shape, or form, but she is an overcomer and a person that's a philosopher that's embraced whatever is going on in her life for her to continue to thrive and to make a difference on this earth. So thank you, Melissa, for being here today. All right, everybody, when we come back, we're going to be talking more with Melissa Taylor about networking, building, and growing. All right.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back with Melissa Taylor, and she is the founder of Network, Build, and Grow. Before we start talking from a business perspective, I found a few pictures here. Want to find out who some of these people are in your life. I hope they family because I didn't show them up. I didn't show it to you in advance, so I'm assuming they family. Let's see who is this beauty right here.
Oh, that's my daughter. That's her brand new
Okay.
car. Yeah. So
Is
she's
that is her name Brooke?
her name is Brooke. Yep. She's
Okay, I
on.
was researching. I was like, please let me find the right stuff here. Let's
Yep.
see. All right.
That's her again with
Her
my
and Dylan.
son, Dylan.
All right. You only
Hmm.
have two children?
We do. We only have two children.
All right. All right. Brooke and Dylan, it's a pleasure to meet you all. You all have a lovely mother. And so glad that you're sharing her with us today. Let's see. Is that
I don't know who that is.
I think that's somebody playing. I thought it was one of your children playing in the band. Don't worry about that then. That was on your page. Okay.
Who knows? Yeah, that was the state championship. So my daughter, Clover High School, won the South Carolina basketball state championships last year. She's on varsity
Okay. I
as a
saw a lot
freshman.
of basketball pictures and I saw some band pictures. So I thought, anyway, that's
Now, my
hilarious.
son is actually part of the Clover Choraleers, which is a singing group here, an amazing, phenomenal choir down here in Clover.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And do I have any other picture here? Okay. That's
There's
just
that
me.
one again.
That's it. It's so funny. I can't. I found another picture, but I'll find it. But I know one thing. Look at how God has just moved you right on into your destiny and purpose. You would not, like you said, looking at you, know your backstory and all that you have to do to even have this lovely look. You know.
Well, thank you.
So I'm really excited about talking with you today. Okay, so let's talk about networking, building, and growing so we can
Yeah,
learn more.
absolutely. So my philosophy is that you can't have a business without networking. Like you can't really have a career without good networking skills, without being able to network. You yourself, right here on the show, you had a couple of people pop on. That's part of your network. I mean, it's just the way that we grow our lives. We do it on we have a social network. I mean, that's what social media is all about too. Of course, that's like a crazy, filtration into the world of your social network, but you have your core social
Right,
network, you have your professional network, and it's really important. So when I founded Network Build Grow, it was really at first to really show people the power of having a network that's very involved with you, a community of like-minded people to help support you and move you forward, not just to pass leads back and forth and referrals back and forth.
right,
That's where the grow and the build comes in. Build your business, grow your business by having that personal and professional accountability and development all within the network that you're accumulating around you.
right,
So
right.
that's what it's all about.
That's really good. And as we network, build, and grow, I was looking at some different things that you do. What first of all, I wanted to find out from you what made you so passionate about specifically dealing with entrepreneurs.
Well, I've been one all my life, so have my
Okay.
parents. So that's pretty much it. I started my first company when I was still in college
Okay.
and grew it. Like I said, I was a dancer, traveled the world doing choreography, coaching, competitive dance, judging, training people how to judge, all those different kinds of things, which is very entrepreneurial, very network oriented. I had to know so and so that knows so and so to be introduced to so and so to do choreography or to judge or to whatever. And then I had kids, took a little break from, building a business. But when I went back into the business world, the first thing I thought of is, I don't know anybody. I had moved from Colorado to the Carolinas and I had my social network. But if I was going to build a business, I didn't have the professional network. So
Good.
the first thing I did was go out and start to network. And what I found was a lot of the networking groups were not efficient.
Mm,
I would try to follow up with people, they wouldn't get back to you. No one followed up with me. And I'm like, how do people network if they don't follow up with
it's
people?
impossible.
Yeah. So I started kind of thinking, okay, well, I'm a business strategist. I'll start teaching people how to do this. And that's just kind of where it kind of snowballed from there. And that's I guess that's where my passion comes from is just I don't believe that you can have a sustainable business without a network. I do not believe that any of us can do it on our own. We need the experience of others. We
Right.
need we need that. And why would you want to reinvent the wheel?
That's
Like,
right.
reach out and get the help. So I think that's why I'm so passionate about it, is just because every entrepreneur needs to build a network.
I agree. I agree. I'm loving what you're talking about here. And And the thing is, when we're building networks, one thing I like that you said in some of the networking tips that I've seen you talk about is time and skills that it takes to build relationships. Can you
Mhm.
talk a little bit more about that? The time and the
Yeah.
skills that it takes.
Yeah, so many times people will go to a networking event and they're just like handing out cards like Halloween candy and gathering cards like Halloween candy. And then they seem to only reach out and follow up and spend the time to build relationships with people they think can then give them the money. And
Mm,
that's actually one of the worst skills that you can do, one of the worst things you can do. You actually want the skills to be to build the relationship with everyone that you meet because you don't know what you don't know and you don't know who they know. And
so
so it's
build a
not a
relationship. One
yes,
tip is build a relationship with
with
everyone.
everyone. Now there's going to be different degrees, different depths of relationships depending on the connection that you have with them, but don't go looking for a sale. When you go to a networking event, put the mindset on that
Okay,
you're not going looking for a sale.
that's good.
And
Good.
that's really one of the keys as well. Networking is an art and a science.
Okay.
And the science part comes in, the skill part comes in of knowing when in that relationship to say, hey, can we collaborate on something?
Yes.
Or do you know someone that might be interested in using my services or that kind of thing? If that's the first thing you do, you have lost out on someone who could be an amazing person for you to be
That's
connected
good.
with.
That's good. Good advice. Good advice. Okay. And then you also talk about clarity and confidence so people understand what you do and who you do it for. Talk to us about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, so, I love realtors and I love mortgage people and I love life insurance agents and health insurance agents and all that. But here's what you hear when you go to a networking event. Someone says, "What do you do?" Which, by the way, hate that question. But they say, "What do you
Why?
do?"
Wait. Why do you hate that question? You can't
It's
just brush
just
past
so
that. You hate the whole question.
common. It's just so common. Like, ask me something more interesting. Like, if I was in a networking event, I would say, "Hey, Kim, what is your favorite thing about your job?"
Oh my goodness, Melissa. My favorite thing about my job is that I get to meet wonderful people and I literally get the opportunity to learn something about them that even though they're teaching the people that are the viewers of my show, they're actually helping me too personally. And I love loving on people. So that's just the most interesting part of my job. I love it.
Yeah, so then you would say that, and then I would follow it up with a question because I don't exactly know what you do yet, right? I know what you
Right,
love about your
right,
job.
right. We're
So
role
I would
playing,
follow
everybody.
up. Yeah,
Everybody that like role playing, put a three in the
yeah.
comments. Okay, go ahead.
So I would come back with a question that goes, that is fascinating to me. Now, what about your business? What do you do that actually allows you to have that in your business? And then you could tell me about your show and about how you do this, and then I know what you do. So
Right.
it's that's the art part,
I
right? Is
love
not
it, and
just
especially
saying,
with your
so what do
facial
you do?
expressions too, because you're actually leaning in
Mhm,
more.
mhm.
You're like moving your eye. You're doing stuff with your eye. I didn't even know you could do that until you started talking about you're doing stuff with your eyes. You're like, so
So
interesting. And
interesting.
it's like
Yeah.
you're twisting your head and giving direct eye contact and
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
good. Okay, go ahead.
So so I try to come up with more interesting question than what do you do? But when people in those industries that are very, common, there's a lot of people that do what they do, right? This is what you hear. I'm a realtor. I help people buy and sell houses. Well, okay, I know that. I know what a realtor does. You don't have to say that. So, how do you differentiate yourself in the real estate market? That's really what I want to know. So, if I meet a realtor and they say, I'm a realtor, I help people buy and sell properties, usually a follow-up question for that is, who exactly do you really like to work with? Like, do you like to work with first-time home buyers, veterans, people only over $1 million? Like, give me a little bit more.
Go
And if
ahead,
they'd done it at the
Melissa.
beginning,
I
that would
love
have
it.
been much better. So that's one of the things that we talk about with clarity and confidence is really understand how can you set yourself apart from the gajillion other people that do what you do. Because when you go to a networking event, there's going to be realtors, mortgage, insurance, life coaches, business coaches, and unless you can set yourself apart, you're in a sea of sameness. And I don't really understand how I can help you.
Wow. Okay, this is good. Sean Hall says, ask Who do you impact during your day? That's a question that she asks
Mhm.
when she's networking.
Great. I love that.
I think that's incredible. Great job, Sean. Let's
Mhm.
see. How do you set yourself apart from everyone else that you network with is what Melissa's saying here as well. So let's see. Wow, I'm enjoying. Okay. Oh, here, you know what, Cassandra, you're right backstage typing, and I'm totally. Oh gosh, Cassandra's like, well, what do you need me for if you're gonna type everything, Kim? I'm sorry. She has it all professional back here too. Tip number one. Let me
Yeah,
put
it's great.
Cassandra. She's capturing everything that you're saying, and I didn't realize it. Sorry. Build a relationship with everyone at networking events. That's really a good tip. And then you also said, Cassandra, see, I'm not going to disregard you. If I make an error, I don't mind admitting to it. I was over here typing, and she's like, why are you doing that? I'm here. So shame on you. Okay. Tip number two, don't go to networking events looking to make a sale. I
Right.
think that's a very profound tip.
So we have a an online course that's actually part of the networking group that we run. It's called Networking is a Contact Sport. And if you think about it, that's what it is. It's kind of a play on words because we use a lot of sports references in
Yes.
the course because you can't. It's not a networking is not a game you can. Your business is not a game you can play by yourself. Like you at
No.
least, I mean, you got to have customers. Well, now
I
you're
can't
no
even
longer
run a
alone.
show by myself. You see, I'm like,
Right,
what? I'm trying to
right.
typing errors and all kind of stuff when I got somebody helping me.
Yeah. So you have to think of it as you have to kind of have fun with it. And so if you kind of put it in that sports analogy, it kind of lets you have a little bit of fun with it as well.
Good. Very good. Okay. And you say having a process in place to follow up properly to build. How talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we all know, we've all seen the statistics. It takes what, 8 to 12 different follow-up touches to actually get to a point where you get a referral or a collaboration or a sale or
Yes.
anything with anybody. What most people stop at like 2 or 3. And
Yes.
they just don't push through. But if you have a system, we use an automated system that reminds me, hey, you haven't talked to this person in so many or whatever, that goes through 12 different things. Now, all those touches don't have to be an annoying phone call constantly asking them to go to a one-on-one meeting or
Right.
or an email every 3 days saying, "Hey, let's schedule something. Hey, let's schedule something." It can be going to their social media, commenting on something, sharing something that they've done. It can be going to their LinkedIn and giving them some kind of a reference or, anything like that. It can be any kind of a touch, sending them an actual card in the mail. I'm big on that. Send cards in the mail. You know, um, any kind of a touch counts for those 10 to 12 touches. It makes a difference, but you
That's
gotta
good.
have a system, and I don't care if it's just a check sheet that you, like, have in a notebook and you check them off as you go, or if it's automated in something like Active Campaign or Salesforce or whatever, but something that gives them value and it is not just about you and
I
what they can do
love
for
it.
you. It's about what you can do for them.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you say planning to make it purposeful.
Yes.
Talk to
You
us
gotta
about that.
yeah. Anything that doesn't have a strategic plan is bound to fail. It may fail today, it may fail tomorrow, it may fail in a year, but it will not work. So you've
That's
got to have a
good.
plan. So if you have like a content library, when I find things that I think are interesting, like I don't know, Charlotte had this thing about manufacturing industries. It was a conference that had to deal with the industry, manufacturing industries. Well, I have nothing to do with that. But I knew
Right.
that someday I would probably run into somebody that's in the manufacturing industry world
Mhm.
and of course, I did. And what's one of the first things I sent him? I went to my little contact thing that I have, a little spreadsheet of all these different things. I looked it up. I sent him the website, said, "Hey, I don't know if you know about this thing that happens every year in Charlotte for the manufacturing industries, but here," and just give it to him.
That's good.
So you just,
That's really, really good. Listen, everybody, we're talking with Melissa Taylor today about networking, building, and growing. And that's in any industry, universally, how you can network, build, and grow. She's the founder of that organization. And if you have any questions specifically for our guests today, go ahead and pop them in the comments section or feel free to come on screen and I'll be happy to pull you in. I've provided the link right here in the comments section as well. You can click directly on it and it'll pop you right into today's broadcast. But Melissa Taylor, she can be reached at hello@networkbuildgrow.com. Hello@networkbuildgrow.com. networkbuildandgrow.com, or you can call her at 803-493-0552. And the website, tell them your website.
It's networkbuildgrow.com.
networkbuildgrow.com. All right, everybody. So today, as we're talking with Melissa, I do want to take a moment to introduce you to another one of our episode sponsors, and that is Lamb Funeral Home. They are in the Concord area, and I'm going to pull their information directly up so you can learn more about them now. Let me pull that up and give you a chance to learn about Lamb Funeral Home. Now, they're certified in all 50 states, so no matter where you are in the country, you can go ahead and reach out to them at 704-782-3011. And we just recently had Mr. Lamb come on to talk to us about veteran benefits that are available to people that don't even know it. And people that are veterans, their adult dependent children, as well as their spouses. If you are in that category, or if you're just in a category that you're looking to learn more about a loved one and how to care for them as they prepare, because we want to prepare for things, not wait until everything's happened, reach out to Lamb Funeral Home, a funeral home with a truly caring atmosphere. And they have over 28 years of funeral home experience. And some of the things that you can expect to learn, you can learn what to expect. You can learn about immediate needs that need to be taken care of and funeral pre-planning. So reach out to Lamb Funeral Home today at 704-782-3011 and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, so we're talking again with Melissa Taylor right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And we're bringing balance to the world, everybody, one household at a time. So continue to be a part of each weekday at 11 o'clock a.m. right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And I do encourage you, if you haven't subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure you do that. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, subscribe today, and turn your notification bell to all. When we go live, you'll automatically be right here in the virtual studio audience and you'll receive an alert. So I encourage you to do that. And many people have asked how they can be an online contributor to the show. These are some of the ways that you can support as a financial online contributor to the Kim Jacobs Show. All right. So Melissa, someone asked the question, I saw it early on. How do your children, I may not get right back to the question, but I know it was about how your children actually deal with you having multiple sclerosis. How do they help in that process?
Sure. So it's kind of funny. We didn't know when to tell them. I've had it since before they were born, but we didn't know exactly, what to say. Because again, it's kind of an invisible disease, but they would notice every once in a while that I would get tired, or we'd go for hikes to waterfalls and I'd be a little slower towards the end of the hike, or, different things like that. So it's funny that the picture that you showed of the waterfalls with my two kids,
Yes.
that's actually the trip that we told them on.
Oh,
Just by chance, that's the picture that you chose. And so, yes, isn't that interesting? So they were quite a bit older. They were teenagers when we finally, told them. Come to find out, they had overheard some rumblings about it, but we explained to them what it is, what could happen, not giving them the worst case scenario, but certainly, what could happen. And, just kind of sat them down and just told them all about it. And it was not as terrifying of a conversation as I thought it was going to be.
right.
They understood, but then I think they understood more when mom does get tired, that it's
That's
not just
right.
that mom's tired, it's a little bit more than that and things like that. So it was, and they do great. They do great
Wow.
with it.
I'm really glad. I'm glad to hear that answer because I didn't know how that worked. But thank you for asking that question. It was Sean that asked that question. Let's see some other things. I see a comment from you, Sean. Chapter 35, benefits for college.
I will have to check that out. Didn't know about that, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, just so everybody knows, this is my bestie, but she's also, used to work with the Department of Education. So she knows exactly what she's talking about, different benefits and things that are available. She's also the author of Pay Now. Let's see, I'm gonna pull it up so I can just actually show you. I like showing stuff because I'm a visual person. So let me see.
I think I actually have a meeting scheduled with Sean.
Well, that's good. You guys,
my son's a senior in high school, so we are looking at paying for college.
Well, you definitely want to utilize Sean Hall. I know I referred her because I refer her to everybody. So Prepare Now, Don't Pay Later is a copy of her book. So even if you haven't booked a consultation with Sean, definitely get this resource, because she deep dives and pours so much information into her book outside of any consultation that you may have, but the consultations are significantly robust.
Yes, yes.
And I can tell you personally that our son has received over $20,000 in college scholarships as a result of being under Sean Hall's leadership with allroadseducation.com, allroadseducation.com. So check her out. All right. So Melissa, we went through some good points here. I mean, a lot of good networking tips, and these tips that we're sharing with, that she shared with you all, we're going to put them right up here. Do you network to build your business? And this is where I got some of those comments from. Time and skills to build relationships, clarity and confidence so people understand what you do and who you do it for, having a process in place to follow up properly to build those relationships, and planning to make it purposeful. So that I just love that when I saw that. Talk to us about taming the business beast. What is that
Yeah.
about? That just
So
stood out to me too.
it's wonderful. Yeah, it's a 3-day intensive workshop for women. And so it's going to be held just outside of Charlotte at the end of September. And I've actually I've partnered with Kim Wanowich, who is a really mindset, clarity, and confidence coach. And because I find that I'm a business strategist, and when I find that when I work with businesses, I can't work with their messaging and their marketing and their business model if they don't really have a clarity and a confidence for what they do. So
Right.
we decided to partner together and do a 3-day intensive work weekend, or it's not a weekend, it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for women business owners. And
That's
we're really
good.
excited about it. We only have a couple of spots left, so jump on it if you want to come join us.
And
But it's
just so I know, where do they, let's pull up this
yep.
information. Here's where you can go, and go right here to
N- No,
networkbuildgrow.com.
actually it would be Taming the Business Beasts with an S, tamingthebusinessbeasts.com.
Okay, wait a minute. Taming the
Yeah,
business beast. Taming the
with an
business.
S. Beasts with an S. More than one beast.
Okay.
Yeah,
.com.
.com. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're going to put that up. If you're interested, and we know you are interested in securing one of those final seats, go to Taming the Business Beasts, like all of the beasts that come to
All
your
of them.
business, all of them, no matter
And there's
how
so many.
scary they may
There's the
appear.
marketing beast, the networking beast, and the bookkeeping beast, and the content creation beast. I mean, there's a ton of time management beast. And so there's all different kinds that we're going to tackle.
Yes. So you want to be in this house for tamingthebusinessbeast.com, this event that's coming up. And then again, ways to stay connected with Melissa Taylor. And I just think that this has been such profound information. And I do know that you were recently honored and recognized as one of the top 50 most influential women right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And so congratulations to
Thank
you,
you.
Melissa Taylor.
Thank
You are
you.
well worth celebrating. I'm so excited for what's happening in your life. So congratulations on that honor as well.
Thank
Now
you.
tell us what's next for Melissa Taylor.
What's next? Well, we are still growing Network Build Grow. That is our baby. My husband and I, we do that together. We just want to see it be just, get huge in Charlotte and be a place where people can come for personal, professional development, networking, all that stuff. It's where I spend my time. It's where my heart is. I do also work with some individual clients as well. But that's really what's next for me is that. Plus, on a personal side, my son is a senior in high school. So we have all the college stuff that we're looking at. He's looking at going to Clemson. My daughter, of course, as you know, is 2 years behind him in that. So she's a sophomore, plays basketball at Clover High School. And that's my life. That's my lifeblood is pouring into them. And so that always comes first. But
That's
that's where
awesome.
I'm at.
Awesome. And being able to just pour into your family makes such a huge difference. I see all kinds of photos and stuff here, but I don't know who's who, so I'm trying to figure out.
I don't post
Oh,
a
you know
lot
what?
on Facebook.
Yeah, I was
I-
gonna say I see a picture here that I wanted to ask you. Wait a minute, I'm gonna put this over and see who this is so you can tell me. I'll pull it over into the broadcast versus going to your page. Let me see. And talk to me about who this is too.
okay.
I don't know. I didn't see. I don't know if your husband's on here. I don't know because I'm trying to
Yeah, I
figure
don't
this out.
post a lot on my Facebook. That's my dad. That's
That's
my
who I thought it
yeah,
was.
that's my dad. We took a trip to Colorado just a few weeks ago, actually, just
Yeah,
before
I
school
saw this
started.
on your Facebook page. I'm forever snooping. I'm like, I was
Yeah,
searching.
yeah.
That's so
I don't,
awesome.
yeah, I don't post a lot of personal pictures on my Facebook page. I actually have a separate Facebook page for just family, but every once in a while I'll throw one up there. So there's probably none of my husband up there. I probably should put something up there.
Yeah, I was like, where is the husband? So I could find one picture of the husband on here. But I didn't know. I was like, you know what? I wonder, is this it? Let's see.
I don't
I
know that I
bet
have any.
this is it because this is when you told the kids. Now, see, ooh, what if this is it? Let me see. Y'all, this is a talk show host and me. Forgive me. I'm over on a whole
She's like,
different platform doing the complete most over here.
I
You're
love
like,
it.
Kim, what are you doing? Let me see. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay, because this, based on what you said, this is the trip that you and your husband told your children. So it probably was only the four of y'all on the trip. Let me see.
Yes, probably.
Let me see.
That's it. There he is. Yep. You found him.
Yes, that is the husband. Tell us about your husband.
Yeah, so he works with me at Network Build Grow. He also actually does work from home for GE as well, has for 20 some years. I'm not really sure. We actually met dancing. So I was a world champion dancer, a judge, choreographer, and my partner started actually coaching him and his competitive partner. And that's actually how we met years and years and years ago.
So he started hugging on you, and you were like, "Hey," and he's like, "I think I'm gonna keep you right here for the rest of my life."
There you go. That's how it works. 3 years later.
How many years later?
We were friends for like 3 years before we really kind of admitted that we were dating, I guess. Yeah. So
I'm so excited. Okay, so I did find a picture. All
you
right, so
did.
we learned so much about you today, and I'm so grateful that you've opened up and just shared your heart with us. And listen, everybody, on tomorrow, I have a guest that's coming on the Kim Jacobs Show, and she's going to be talking to us about being audacious and having that confidence, and it's going to be a great episode. So make sure you are in your virtual seats. You don't want to miss tomorrow's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I was trying to see. I know I have pictures somewhere, but I'll find that too. I've been trying to do so much looking at on your page, finding all those pictures. But Alicia is going to be phenomenal tomorrow. So make sure that you all are in your virtual seats. And what else do you want to tell us today, Melissa?
Gosh,
Anything
I
else?
think we covered a lot of ground. I
No, I
think,
thought so.
yeah, we covered a lot of ground. But anybody that wants more information about just good networking skills, just reach out to me. I'm an open book. I'll share tips, tricks. You can get on our list of, I send out blogs and articles all the time and just here to help.
That's good. Good, good. I'm excited about it. So you can't get a better situation than this. This woman is she's very modest, but she is extremely successful in her company, Network Build Grow, and knows exactly what she's talking about when it comes to networking and building your company from scratch and making it become what it needs to be at a memorable, I think that's the right word, a memorable level. So you're not just doing just something just to be doing it. And
Right.
tomorrow, as I stated, I have Alicia Curry. She says, okay, hey, always, what did she say? Always be yourself, unless you can be Wonder Woman, of course. And since she knows how to rock Wonder Woman outfit, then I think that she could be that. So she'll be on tomorrow and talking about being audacious and having confidence. And she's also a growth expert. So this week, we're talking a lot about growing your business and growing the gifts and the talents that you have. And we have been blessed today with Melissa Taylor right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And I do have one more of our sponsors today that I'd like to introduce you to prior to us closing out. And so if you have not heard of Hunter Everidge Law Firm or worked with them, make sure you take a moment to learn about them today. They are disability and injury. And even if you're dealing with wrongful death of a family member, you want to reach out to them. They are in the Charlotte and the Richmond, Virginia area. Their phone number is 704-377-9157. Again, hunter-everidge.com. And when you reach out to them, let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And I'm going to let you learn more about them regarding, especially wrongful death. So many people are dying and their family members, and it's wrongful death. So let's learn more about them now.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everidge, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Okay. I think that really at the end of the day, we've learned some great information today. Do you have any closing point that you would like to make to everyone?
I think we kind of already made it. Today is today, and you can't have a business without a network. So you have to start there, and you can't have a business without personal growth. So make sure that you're always working on you.
You're very concise, to the point, and I personally think that's what makes your networking be so wonderful, because it's like, if you can just keep it right to the point and keep it simple, then you can't help but be successful, because then nobody's confused about what it is that you do. So all of the tips that were shared today, I hope that they were extremely helpful to everyone, and I know they were. I would like to give a quick birthday shout out to Jen Fromke, and she is one of my neighbors that was in my previous neighborhood, and I will always hold her near and dear to my heart. Today is her birthday, but the thing that I want to say about this particular woman is that she ran over to my yard and gave my son, Gabriel Michael Jacobs, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. She didn't know him like that. She didn't have to do that, but she breathed into his nostrils, into his mouth, as if he was her own child. And so, Jen, I say happy birthday to you today, and I celebrate you and I salute you, and I will always remember you and love you. Okay. I just want to say that because that's so important to me.
You're gonna make me cry.
This woman did not have to come across the street and go in at the level that she did to try to help my son live. And she did it with everything within her as if it was her own child. So I am so happy to celebrate her today, not to be all teary-eyed, but today is her birthday, Jen Fromke. Happy
Wonderful.
birthday. Happy birthday. All right. So we're closing out, everybody. Hope you've had a wonderful time here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's put this contact information back up one more time. And we're going to go ahead and, yes, Melissa Taylor, hello@networkbuildgrow.com, 803-493-0552. And her website is networkbuildgrow.com. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Melissa.
It was fun. Thank you.
You're amazing. Bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.